like it'll be a great day to hit the lakeshore, which is where we find our Tanner Holbrook live this morning. Tanner, we know you're on board the Coast Guard Cutter Spar, one of the ships that visitors can tour this week. And Tanner, this is your first Coast Guard, so really exciting for you. How's it been out there so far this morning?
Yeah, like you said, first Coast Guard Festival. I feel like I'm getting the royal treatment because I'm getting shown all around the Cutter Spar this morning. You can take a look that we are in one of the hallways of the Spar right now. Very close quarters, as you can imagine. I'm about 6'2", 6'3", and I'm almost to the top here of where you're able to walk through. This hallway specifically tells a lot about the history of the Cutter Spar, and that was the U.S. Coast Guard Women's Reserve, the Spars as they called them, and that is what this ship is named after. So joining me right now is Lieutenant Commander Joel Wright. Lieutenant Commander Wright, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Tell us about the history. Dive a little deeper into what the name of this vessel means for you guys.
So SPAR is an acronym for Semper Paratus, Always Ready, which is the Coast Guard's motto. We are always ready, and we take pride in that. And so Women's Reserve was stood up during World War II to handle all the shoreside administrative, hospital needs of all the servicemen as the men went off to fight in the war. So they were the main support in the Coast Guard, and they handled everything shoreside, and we take a lot of pride in the spars. And this ship has the namesake of the Women's Ready Reserve, and a very important part of our history and of our nation and the Coast Guard, and so we take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, and it seems very evident. You guys have this big wall filled with history of the spars of this ship. You even have a picture of the original spar ship just over here, which is really, really cool. I love history. I love to look at all of this. Well, tell me about what this ship's role is, because you guys are docked typically in Duluth, Minnesota.
That's
you
correct.
guys made the trek down here. So what is typically the ship's function?
Ship's primary missions are aids to navigation, and the aids to navigation are the buoys that you see out in the waterways that mark for the mariners where to go. It's the highway markers, and we pick those up every fall before the ice comes so that they do not get ruined, and then we put them back out in the spring after the ice leaves. That's our primary mission. We also break ice in the winter. We're ice capable, so really we're staying up in Superior most of the time, keeping the Superior Duluth Harbor open for ship traffic, and that is a significant part of the U.S. economy because of all the steel, the taconite, the coal, and the grain that comes out of there. A lot of the Midwest industry comes from there and goes down into Indiana, Chicago, and Cleveland.
Okay, so yeah, really big part of our country's infrastructure and our country's economy. Lieutenant Commander Wright, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I want to mention that this is one of the ships that you will be able to tour. And if we can come this way really quick, this is that hallway, again, that you guys are going to be able to see when you come through here for one of those tours. A lot of history behind this ship, and very, very important, as we just heard, for our country's economy. Very cool. All right, we'll wrap it up here and send it back to you. I'm reporting live from the Cutter Spar, Tanner Holbrook, 13 on your side.